Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a slight downward trend. The RSI values fluctuate between 42.8 and 60.1, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a cautious strategy focused on short-term trading opportunities. We will employ a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Our strategy will involve entering long positions when the RSI dips below 20 and the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands. For example, if the price falls to $74,500, which is near the lower Bollinger Band and RSI is below 20, we enter a long position with an entry price of $74,500. The stop loss will be set just below the support price, at $74,000. The target price will be set at the resistance price of $79,100. Conversely, if the RSI reaches above 80 and the price touches the upper band of the Bollinger Bands, we will enter a short position. If the RSI reaches above 80 and the price reaches $82,800, we enter a short position with an entry price of $82,800. The stop loss will be set just above the resistance price, at $83,000. The target price will be set at the support price of $75,500. This approach allows us to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a downtrend. The price has been consistently below the Bollinger Band center, and the RSI has mostly remained below 50, indicating weakening momentum. The support price is consistently at $2,060, and the forecast suggests a continued decline towards $2,000. I propose a short position strategy to capitalize on this downward trend. Specifically, I recommend entering a short position at $2,080. Given the strong support at $2,060, a stop loss should be placed at $2,110 to protect against a potential rebound. A target price of $2,000 is set, anticipating the forecasted price level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands indicators. When the RSI dips below 30, it signals an oversold condition, potentially indicating a temporary pullback before the downtrend resumes. Conversely, when the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, it also suggests a potential oversold condition. Therefore, I suggest a portfolio with a 60% weight on the short position strategy and a 40% weight on a strategy that buys at the lower Bollinger Band when the RSI is below 30. For the short position, entry price is $2,080, stop loss is $2,110, and target price is $2,000. For the RSI/Bollinger Band strategy, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, around $2,030, and the RSI is below 30, enter a long position with a stop loss at $2,010 and a target price of $2,050. This blended approach aims to maximize returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within the range of $639 to $663, with support at $650. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently in a neutral range, hovering around 54 to 58. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price is approaching the upper band, indicating potential overbought conditions. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 50 and the price touches the support level of $650. The entry price will be $650. To manage risk, set a stop-loss order at $643. The initial target price will be $660, aiming to capture a short-term upward movement. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price breaks above the upper band of $663, consider adding to the position with an entry price of $663, a stop loss at $657, and a target price of $672. Conversely, if the price touches the lower band of $634, it signals a potential oversold condition. Enter a long position at $634, with a stop loss at $639 and a target price of $650. This combined approach, utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands, allows for dynamic adjustments based on market conditions, maximizing potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP exhibits a slightly downward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates below 60, indicating a neutral to slightly bearish momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been oscillating within a narrow range, recently touching the lower band. The forecast predicts a continued decline, with prices hovering around $1.32 to $1.34. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately conservative strategy focusing on short-term gains. My recommended portfolio combines elements of all three strategies. I suggest entering a short position at $1.34 with a stop-loss placed just above the upper Bollinger Band at $1.4. The target price should be set at the support level of $1.32. If the price breaks below $1.32, we will adjust the stop-loss to $1.31 and maintain the position, aiming for a potential further decline to $1.3. This approach leverages the downward trend while incorporating the volatility suggested by the Bollinger Bands and the RSI's neutral readings. The strategy aims to capitalize on short-term price movements while mitigating risk with strategically placed stop-loss orders. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana demonstrates a clear downtrend. The price has been consistently declining over the past 2 weeks, and the forecast for the next week predicts further decreases, reaching $81.2. The support price remains stable at $83.2, while the resistance is at $87.2. The RSI indicates oversold conditions, fluctuating between 41.7 and 57.6, with recent values consistently below 50, suggesting potential for a short-term bounce, but the overall momentum remains bearish. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been trading near the lower band, reinforcing the downtrend. Therefore, I recommend a short position strategy. My recommended strategy is to initiate a short position at $84.4. Given the strong downtrend and the forecast, a conservative stop-loss should be placed slightly above the recent high, at $86.2. The initial target price should be set at $82.2, aligning with the forecast price for June 2, 2026. If the price continues to decline, a second target can be set at $81.2. This strategy combines technical indicators and price forecasts to capitalize on the prevailing bearish momentum while managing risk with strategically placed stop-loss and target prices. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a clear uptrend with consistently increasing close prices. The RSI consistently remains above 70, indicating overbought conditions, but the price continues to rise, suggesting strong bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands are widening, confirming the increasing volatility and potential for further price movement. Given these factors, I recommend a long position strategy focusing on capitalizing on the ongoing uptrend. We will implement a strategy based on RSI and Bollinger Bands. The entry price will be $0.377, coinciding with the first forecast price. A stop-loss order will be placed at $0.367, just below the support level, to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be $0.388, aligning with the forecast price on June 2, 2026. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 60 during the week, we will consider averaging down our position, but only if the price remains above the lower Bollinger Band. If the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider taking partial profits at $0.391. The final target price will be $0.391, based on the forecast for June 2, 2026. This dynamic approach allows us to adapt to market fluctuations while maintaining a bullish outlook, maximizing potential returns while minimizing risk. The portfolio will consist of 60% long TRON, 30% cash, and 10% in other altcoins. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a slightly downward trend with recent price consolidation around $0.102 to $0.106. The RSI consistently hovers below 60, indicating a lack of strong bullish momentum. The forecast for the next week suggests continued sideways movement with prices between $0.101 and $0.104. Considering these factors, I propose a cautious strategy focused on short-term gains. We will initiate a long position at $0.102, placing a stop-loss order at $0.0994, just below the support level, to mitigate potential losses. The target price will be set at $0.106, coinciding with the resistance level, aiming for a reasonable profit within the current range. To enhance the strategy, we will integrate Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential oversold condition, and we will enter a long position at $0.101. The stop-loss will be set at $0.0985, and the target price will be $0.104. This combined strategy balances RSI and Bollinger Band signals for optimal risk-reward ratio. This approach allows us to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations while protecting against significant downside risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash shows a generally upward trend with significant volatility. The price has consistently bounced off the support level of $511, and the forecast suggests continued upward movement. The RSI fluctuates between 53 and 73, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have widened recently, suggesting increased volatility and potential price swings. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. My strategy involves an initial long position at $637, coinciding with the first forecast price. A stop-loss order will be placed at $610 to mitigate potential downside risk. The target price is set at $680, based on the historical upper Bollinger Band and a reasonable profit margin. If the RSI reaches 80, indicating an overbought condition, I will consider taking profits or reducing the position size. Conversely, if the RSI drops below 20, signaling an oversold condition, I will consider adding to the position at a lower price. This dynamic approach, combining trend analysis, volatility indicators, and risk management, aims to capture substantial gains while protecting against adverse price movements. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a downtrend, with the price decreasing from 0.265 to 0.232. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a weakening momentum, and the forecast predicts further decline. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. Therefore, I recommend a short position strategy. We will enter a short position at $0.241, placing a stop-loss at $0.243 to protect against potential upward spikes. The initial target price will be $0.235, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated downward trend. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we'll hold the position, anticipating a potential bounce. Conversely, if the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, it might signal a potential reversal, and we'll consider adjusting the stop-loss or even closing the position. If the price reaches $0.235, we'll move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.241 to secure profits and manage risk. The final target price will be $0.232, maximizing potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a clear downtrend. The price has been consistently falling from $434 to a forecast of $316 over the past 2 weeks. The RSI consistently below 30 indicates a strong oversold condition, suggesting a potential for a short-term bounce, but the overall trend remains bearish. The Bollinger Bands are widening, indicating increased volatility, and the price is trading near the lower band, reinforcing the bearish sentiment. Therefore, I recommend a short-selling strategy with an entry price of $347, a stop-loss price of $351, and an initial target price of $338. To refine the strategy, I will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands signals. When the RSI falls below 20, it signals an extremely oversold condition, suggesting a potential short-term rebound. Conversely, when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it further confirms the oversold condition. Combining these signals, I suggest entering a short position at $347, setting a stop loss at $351 to protect against a potential bounce, and targeting $338 as the first profit target. If the price continues to fall, I will adjust the target price to $328, and if the RSI reaches 80, I will close the position to avoid unnecessary risks. This combined strategy aims to capitalize on the downtrend while mitigating potential losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Filecoin exhibits a slightly upward trend, fluctuating within a defined range between $0.956 and $1.05. The RSI consistently hovers around the mid-range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has been generally trading near the middle band, with occasional excursions towards the upper and lower bands. The forecast for the next week projects a continued upward trajectory, with prices ranging from $0.983 to $1.0. Therefore, I propose a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term gains. We will implement a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Band signals. Entry price will be $0.983, coinciding with the first forecast price and a slight dip. The stop loss will be set at $0.956, aligning with the established support level to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $1, based on the forecast data and a reasonable profit margin. If the price reaches $1, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.983 to secure profits and protect against a potential reversal. A secondary target price will be $1.05, the resistance level, for a higher potential return, but this will be contingent on the price action and market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Virtual's protocol exhibits a slightly upward trend with periods of volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the mid-50s, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been trading within the bands, with recent movement suggesting a potential breakout towards the upper band. Considering the support price of $0.778 and resistance of $0.933, a breakout above the recent high could lead to significant gains. Therefore, I propose a long position strategy. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position at $0.769, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period. Given the recent volatility, set a stop-loss order at $0.75, just below the recent low and the lower Bollinger Band. The target price should be $0.813, aligning with the forecast high for the week. This strategy leverages the potential upward trend and the forecast data while mitigating risk with a well-defined stop-loss. The RSI is not in the oversold zone, so we need to enter the position at the forecast price. The price is also near the lower Bollinger Band, which suggests that the price may rise. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cosmos Hub shows a slight upward trend, supported by consistently holding above the 2.14 support level and the forecast predicting further price increases. The RSI fluctuates between 52.5 and 66.4, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increasing volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will use a combined approach incorporating RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. The entry price will be $2.14, coinciding with the support level and a potential bounce-back area. A stop loss will be placed at $2.08, just below the lower Bollinger Band and providing a buffer against short-term dips. The primary target price will be $2.28, aligning with the forecast high for June 2, 2026. However, we will also implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. If the price reaches $2.2, we will move the stop-loss to $2.15. If the price continues to rise and reaches $2.25, we will move the stop-loss to $2.2. This approach allows us to secure profits while still participating in potential further upside. This portfolio combines the strengths of each indicator, providing a robust and adaptive strategy for maximizing returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Falcon Finance shows a generally upward trend with recent price volatility. The RSI consistently hovers above 60, indicating bullish momentum, though nearing overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of consolidation and potential breakouts. Considering the support price of $0.0891 and resistance of $0.11, a combined strategy is recommended. I propose a long position strategy with an entry price of $0.0921, a stop-loss price of $0.088, and a target price of $0.0994. This strategy leverages the recent upward trend and forecast price, while the stop-loss protects against potential downside risk. To optimize returns, I suggest a tiered approach. Initially, enter the long position at $0.0921. If the price reaches $0.096, move the stop-loss to $0.091. If the price continues to rise and reaches $0.0994, take partial profits and adjust the stop-loss to $0.097 to secure gains and protect against a potential reversal. This dynamic strategy adapts to market conditions, maximizing profit potential while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Render exhibits a clear uptrend. The price has consistently moved upwards, supported by increasing RSI values and Bollinger Bands widening, indicating growing volatility and potential for further gains. The forecast for the next week projects continued price increases, reaching $2.47. Considering the RSI nearing overbought territory, above 80, in recent days, a strategic approach is to capitalize on pullbacks while maintaining an overall bullish outlook. Therefore, I recommend a long position entry at $2.15, placing a stop-loss order at $2.05 to protect against unexpected downside movements. A reasonable target price would be $2.4, aiming to capture a significant portion of the projected upward movement. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price dips towards the lower band, around $2.15, it signals a potential buying opportunity due to the temporary undervaluation. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, enter a long position at $2.15 with a stop-loss at $2.05 and a target price of $2.4. Conversely, if the price reaches the upper Bollinger Band, consider taking profits or tightening the stop-loss. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach allows for dynamic adjustments to the investment strategy, maximizing potential returns while minimizing risks. Based on the historical data and forecast, Kite has shown significant volatility, with the RSI fluctuating between 52.6 and 80.2. The price has tested the resistance level of $0.233 multiple times but failed to break through consistently. The recent forecast indicates a slight upward trend, with prices hovering around $0.22. Considering the RSI is currently above 75, indicating overbought conditions, I recommend a short-term contrarian strategy. Specifically, I suggest entering a short position at $0.218, placing a stop-loss order at $0.224 to protect against a potential upward surge, and setting a target profit at $0.199, near the support level. To further refine this strategy, we can incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been consistently near the upper band, reinforcing the overbought signal. This suggests a potential pullback is imminent. Therefore, the combined strategy involves shorting at $0.218, with a stop-loss at $0.224 and a target profit at $0.199. This approach leverages the RSI's overbought indication and the Bollinger Band signal of potential mean reversion, aiming for a high-return trade with clearly defined risk management parameters. Based on the historical data and forecast, SE shows a fluctuating trend with a recent downward bias. The RSI consistently hovers around the 50 mark, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increasing volatility. The forecast prices are slightly increasing, but remain close to the recent support level of $0.0636. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term gains. My strategy will be a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 45 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $0.0615. A stop-loss order will be placed just below the support level at $0.0600. The target price will be set at the resistance level of $0.0668, aiming for a quick profit. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider taking partial profits and adjusting the target price upwards. This portfolio balances risk and potential reward, capitalizing on short-term volatility while protecting against significant losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance exhibits a clear upward trend. The RSI consistently moved above 30, indicating a bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price increases, with the price expected to reach $0.25. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy focused on capitalizing on this upward trend. We will implement a strategy that combines RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels for optimal risk-reward ratio. The entry price for this long position will be $0.218. The stop-loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.175 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be $0.233, aligning with the forecast price and a key resistance level. If the price reaches $0.233, we will consider moving the stop-loss to break even to secure profits and allow the position to run further. A secondary target price will be $0.25 based on the forecast. This strategy combines technical indicators with price forecasts to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Terra Luna Classic shows a generally upward trend with increased volatility. The price has been fluctuating within a defined range between $0.0000864 support and $0.000101 resistance. The RSI consistently stays around 50, indicating a neutral market condition. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price breakouts. The forecast data indicates a continued upward trajectory, with prices expected to reach $0.0000911. Therefore, I recommend a long-term position strategy focusing on capitalizing on the upward momentum while managing risk with strategic stop-loss orders. My recommended strategy involves entering a long position at $0.0000836, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period. The stop-loss should be set at $0.0000864, just above the support level, to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price is $0.0000909, aligning with the forecast peak. We will adjust the target price to $0.0000911 if the price reaches $0.0000909. This strategy leverages the upward trend, the RSI indicating a neutral market, and the Bollinger Band suggesting a potential breakout. This approach aims to maximize potential returns while mitigating risks through a well-defined stop-loss and target price. Based on the historical data and forecast, Worldcoin shows a clear uptrend. The price has been consistently moving upward, breaking through resistance levels and showing strong momentum. The RSI values have been increasing, indicating strengthening bullish sentiment, with the most recent reading of 77.5 nearing the overbought level of 80. The Bollinger Bands are expanding, suggesting increased volatility and a continuation of the upward trend. Considering the support price of $0.26 and the resistance price of $0.421, a strategy focusing on capitalizing on the ongoing uptrend is recommended. Therefore, I suggest a long position strategy. Entry price should be $0.311. Given the current overbought RSI and expanding Bollinger Bands, a conservative stop-loss is set at $0.293 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price is $0.38, aligning with the forecast price and a reasonable profit target based on the recent price action. If the price reaches $0.38, consider moving the stop-loss to break even to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. This strategy combines technical indicators with price action analysis to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively.